Hi gamers, Coach Nate here, and in today's workout we will be covering everyone's favorite role, the Duelist role. These high-flying, fast-paced fraggers can be the bane of the enemy team's existence, so let's make sure we know how to get the most out of them, leaving us with the final task of clicking on some heads. Now, let's get into the rest of the workout. In honor of covering our Duelist role today, let's first play one team deathmatch. Playing a Duelist and focusing specifically on our headshot percentage. On pistols, select the Ghost. In the second phase, select the Sheriff. Third phase, select the Guardian. In the fourth and final phase, select the Vandal. A key detail of playing Duelist is being able to capitalize on space created both by your teammate's utility and your own utility. As a Duelist, we want to take space and take fights. However, we cannot do this properly without good util usage. Whether that be from our kits, our teammates' kits, the important thing is that when we are running in or clearing space, that we are aware of what angles are being cut for us, what angles we can cut with our own utility, and what angles we should be pre-aiming. This will allow us to take the best fights possible and give us the best chance for success. This, of course, requires coordination with your team, which might not always be the case in ranked. This means that knowing how to maximize your own utility to cut and clear angles, mixed in with proper peaks and pathing, will allow you to truly frag out on a Duelist role. On attack as a Duelist, our main objective is to take space and look for fights. In order to take space, we first have to create some space for us to take. You can either do this with your own utility like Reyna Flash or Neon Stun, or we can use our teammates' darts and drones. Once the space is cleared, it's our job to capitalize on it, with dashes, walls, TPs, or even just straight holding W. In order for our team to progress, we need to be the ones to pave the way, using our utility first and then running out after. To do this, it's important to think about how we can use and place our utility to help us out, whether that be where it is the safest place to throw our Cloudburst or TP, or how we can throw a flash or a boombot that clears as many angles as possible. Here is an example of a poorly thrown Reyna Flash versus a good one, and then a poorly thrown Yoru TP versus a safe one. It's important to remember that a Duelist job, especially on attack, is not to tunnel vision on the number of kills you're getting. Make sure you're doing the right things first and creating space for your teammates. On defense, our main goals as a Duelist are to re-clear space and go for early duels. When taking early duels on defense, we want to make sure we are either 1. Using our util to set ourselves up for an early fight, or 2. Getting into a spot where we can take a fight and then use our util to leave safely. There are a myriad of ways we can do this, and plenty of spots to do this in, so I highly encourage everyone to experiment and learn. See what works and what does not work. Now, for re-clearing space as a Duelist on defense, we want to put ourselves into a similar mindset that we have for attack, which is that we want to use our utility to create space and cut angles, then we as a Duelist, without overextending, scale up and re-clear any angles that may be unknowns for us. Keep in mind that most of the time when re-clearing space, you should have a teammate with you that can also use their utility in pair to help you. Since most of the time the enemies are at least grouped in pairs, if not more, it's always better to have a buddy. Now, play 2 unrated games on different Duelists, practicing maximizing their kit to create space and clear angles. Fragging on Duelists isn't easy. Oftentimes you don't always get the most support and are left on an island with nothing but your aim to bail yourself out. Now yes, having great aim will help you as a Duelist player, but that's not the end all be all. You can still be a great Duelist player if you're methodical and smart with your util and timings. Knowing when and where to hit the go button as well as how are equally as important. If you can use your util perfectly to set yourself up for favorable fights, it doesn't matter how good your aim is. Being a great Duelist player is not only about topping the scoreboard, it's about creating and taking space for your teammates, being in tradable positions and flushing out the anchors. So when you play Duelist, don't put immense pressure on yourself to drop 30 because 10s doesn't. It's extremely important on Duelist, especially to do the little things right. Being a fundamentally strong player will serve you well on Duelist, as oftentimes you have to make split-second decisions. Being able to keep your fundamentals and flash to the right spot, wall to the right side, and satchel to the right spot will allow you to have the most success. Now you know what you should be doing and how to maximize your util as a duelist. All that's left to do is go and frag out. Once again, I'm Coach Nate, and if you haven't checked out any of my other Season 1 workouts on all the other agent classes, be sure to do so on my page.